Hello again, my name is Gabe Zollner. This is the 6th of January, 2017. 14 days to go. Turn on the set. What's the first thing that I hear? Well, the first thing that I hear is the investigation that's being conducted by the head of the Armed Services Committee. None other than lame brain Johnny McCain, the songbird of the Hanoi Hilton. There's so much that people don't know about him. It's just mind-blowing. I've got about 160 videos on him alone. And he still got reelected. It just shows you how few people in Arizona are tuned into reality. I think Donald needs to form a committee to investigate the songbird of the Hanoi Hilton. There was no reason for McCain to put together the Armed Service Committee hearing. It accomplishes nothing. There is absolutely zero proof that Russia was involved. All he's doing is stirring the pot. No need to stir the pot. There's an inauguration to look forward to, but you've got McCain trying to suggest through this investigation that Donald Trump won only because of the Russian hacking information. Again, nobody's talking about what was found. No one's talking about John Podesta. No one's talking about Pizzagate. No one's talking about the information contained on Anthony Weiner's computer. No one's talking about Huma Abedin and her connection to Saudi Arabia. None of that's being investigated. What's being investigated is that Donald went only through the assistance of Vladimir Putin and Russia. Both he and his cohort, and it is his cohort, I don't know if they're lesbian lovers, I don't know what they are, lesbian homosexual lovers, I have no idea what they are, but both he and Lindsey Graham are always stirring the pot, not in favor of the Republicans. I've made mention of this in previous videos. When Obama tried to free the terrorist, the Muslim Brotherhood member, Mohammed Morsi, who was incarcerated in Egypt, Obama asked both lame brain Johnny McCain and Lindsey Graham to go to Egypt, and they did. They did Obama's bidding. I don't know how many times McCain's gone to the White House, but I know that it's significant. There's no reason for McCain to have gone to the White House countless times. I've got videos that talked about that. The number of times that he went sort of slipped me. Like Dougie Shulman. You know who Dougie Shulman is? Dougie Shulman used to head up the IRS. And he had, I don't know, 500 visits to the White House. That's when all that backstabbing was going on to try to destroy the Tea Parties by Lois Lerner. Donald needs to form a committee and investigate McCain's past. The people need to know the truth about the war hero. Donald called it when he said that I don't consider him a war hero. War heroes aren't captured. What he should have said is I don't consider him a war hero. War heroes don't receive presidential pardons. That's what he should have said. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. Good news is it isn't too late. McCain needs to be tried for treason. I posted audio of him in the Hanoi Hilton Hotel. Listen to what he says. He denounces America. He says he was ordered to bomb schools. He was ordered to bomb churches. He was ordered to bomb hospitals. Yeah, Gabe, well, he was a prisoner and he was under duress. No, he wasn't. He was a guest. The reason he never came back early and he was offered early release countless times was because he knew that those that did come back early were traitors. And he was a traitor, and he didn't want the stigma. The only reason he got a presidential pardon was because of his father. His father was an admiral, as was his grandfather. And his father was an admiral in the Pacific Fleet during the Vietnam conflict. What are we learning about all of these conflicts? Well, we're learning that they're made by our government. Vietnam was made by our government on a false flag. Vietnam should never have happened. Those 50,000 Americans that died shouldn't have died. They died to fuel the industrial military complex. The Bay of Tonga incident was the reason we went into the war. There's always a reason. Pearl Harbor was the reason we went into the Second World War. Could Pearl Harbor have been prevented? Probably. But it wasn't. The Bushes have taken us into wars. George H. Bush took us into a war. And they did it because of the bad steps of Iraq. If Iraq was so bad, why didn't they put him in prison at that time? And then you had his son, George H. Bush. But his son also was involved in the 9/11. Why? To turn on the industrial military complex in high gear. I talked about this in a number of my videos. I started writing a book, and I came up with the title, America, the Warring Nation. And I've got about 40 pages written, and then I got involved in doing these videos, so I haven't had time to go back to the book. But I truly believe that America is a warring nation. Its economy depends on it, which is why it's always fueled by the elitists. You might not want to hear any of this. Don't listen. The reality is, it is what it is. Donald Trump needs to, again, investigate not only the songbird of the Hanoi Hilton, and prove to the American people that he is in fact, and was in fact, a traitor. He's a warmonger. Lindsey Graham is probably angry at the world because of his sexual preferences. I believe he's also a homosexual. He acts like one, he talks like one, he moves like one. The whole thing is insane. We've got homosexuals on Fox News as anchors. It's completely insane. We're inundated with them. Shit, we got one in the White House for 8 years. Why do you think Obama pushed for gay marriage? To make himself feel good. Why do you think he pushed for transsexuals? Bathrooms for boys and girls, showers for boys and girls. To make Big Mike feel good. But that's a different story. This isn't about Big Mike. It's not about that flap-eared, crack-smoking Sunni Islamic extremist fudge-packing homosexual bastard Arab. This is about Senator John McCain that needs to be exposed for what he is, and he needs to be held accountable for what he is. There's no reason that people of his age, 80 years old, are allowed to be in the positions that they're in. Well, you could say, well, the same thing applies to Donald. No, that's not true. Donald's not 80 years old. Are you telling me that Nancy Pelosi is totally sane and she's not taking some kind of psychotic drug? Look at her, for God's sakes. This isn't about Nancy Pelosi. Donald needs to form a committee to investigate Senator John McCain. He also needs to form a committee to investigate Barack Hussein Obama, the Manchurian candidate. I've got close to 17,000 videos online. I've got 464 videos under Gabe Zolna, and the rest under Gabor Zolna. I've done nothing but this for close to 4 years. The 13th of January will be my 4-year anniversary. I know what I'm talking about. I spend 12 to 14 hours a day doing research, posting videos, having discussions, reading material. I know what I'm talking about. And if more people took the time to do their own research, they wouldn't be surprised in hearing that Senator John McCain received a presidential pardon from President Nixon. They wouldn't be surprised that there is no First Lady. There will be, but there isn't one, and there hasn't been one for 8 years. You know, I keep getting these messages from people. Well, Gabe, I mean, I've never seen any First Ladies in bathing suits. Really? Look. I posted about 5 of them. Well, Gabe, I mean, you know, there's no proof that Michelle isn't a woman. Really? Open your eyes. Listen to when Obama himself refers to Mike, not Michelle. This isn't again about Obama, and it isn't about Big Mike. Folks, this country's in a world of hurt. We can climb out of it if we all get together and support Donald Trump and disregard all this bullshit created by these rhinos. That's sort of what I think. And you got a pretty good idea as to why I think what I think. You know, there's a lot of videos that I put up, and what amazes me is that there's so many that you need to look at that many of you don't look at. But that's a different story. Thanks for listening. Try to let Donald know in a subtle way. He needs to investigate McCain and Obama. Obama's first executive order is the key to end the nightmare of Barack Hussein Obama.